Customers without power right now. According to the Dominion Virginia Power website, more than 200 customers in Newport News lost power overnight. In Virginia Beach, more than 170 customers don't have electricity.
Dominion Power is investigating the cause of the outages. Crews hope to have power restored to all customers between 6 and 9 this morning.
Wondering if the overnight storms had anything to do with that, because that's another big story that we're following right now.
Let's get over to Craig, because we did see lightning, a lot of downpours overnight. How's it looking now, Craig?
I suspect those power outages were due to the weather.
Now be careful going to work this morning because of those storms. The roads are wet. Ashley is off this morning. We will help you get to work.
We sure will. It's looking green there right now. You see that? But it's starting to get a little bit busy at the base. We want to give you a look at base traffic right there, 564 westbound past Terminal Boulevard. You can see traffic is picking up. The roads are wet, and it will be a bit of a slow go, but it's moving right along. We'll keep watching it for you. Yep.
Especially with the rain we had overnight. In the news today, a community in mourning comes together to remember Norfolk police officer Brian Jones.
Jones's funeral is at the Rock Church later this morning. Many in Hampton Roads want to do what they can to support his family and the family of Mark Rodriguez, the teenager who was also killed on Friday night. 13 News Now reporter Carl Limer is live in Virginia Beach, where the officer's funeral will be held today. You just heard Carl mention it. To learn more about what's being done to help the families of those victims, simply head to WVEC.com. We do have that special featured section on our homepage that includes complete coverage on this case, including more on the tributes to both Officer Brian Jones and to young Mark Rodriguez. Right now, Suffolk police are looking for a missing woman. Take a good look at your screens. This is Sharon Laird. She is 48 years old. Police say she was last seen on Tuesday morning at her home on Carolina Road. She's about 5'4", 125 pounds. She may be driving that silver 2008 Dodge pickup truck you see there. Investigators are not calling Laird's disappearance suspicious, and they are not saying she is endangered right now, but they still want to find her. If you see this woman, you're asked to contact Suffolk police immediately. A 4-year-old hurt in a crash in Norfolk is still in the hospital this morning. A car crossed into oncoming traffic on Azalea Garden Road yesterday, hitting an SUV head-on. The impact sent that car crashing into another SUV. Emergency crews took 2 adults and 2 children, including the 4-year-old, to Centera Norfolk General Hospital. The cause of the crash remains under investigation. A confrontation between police and a gunman turns deadly, and coming up, more on the deadly clash that happened in Canada and the manhunt that's going on right now.
And a car slams into a truck and a city bus. It's new video into the newsroom. Look at that. Find out what led to this wild crash. Let's check that traffic map right now and see how we're moving along on this Thursday morning with this overnight system that's still hitting us in some spots. Looks to be green in most areas, but Craig mentioned it's still wet in Newport News.
And that's where we're going to take you right now. Interstate 64 right at Victory Boulevard, where if you look in the lights out there, you can see rain still falling. And of course, the roads are obviously wet, but traffic moving very nicely. And so far this morning, we have no reports of accidents. We'll keep watching the situation for you as you get up and get going.
You bet. Right now it's 5:11. A truck plows into a house, hitting 3 people inside.
But it's what happened before the crash that left 1 person dead. We're going to explain what caused this mess. Breaking news just in this morning, 24 people hurt in a fire on Staten Island. This is a picture of the scene from the ABC television station in New York City. Firefighters say this is a 5-alarm fire at a duplex.
When fire crews arrived, they found flames throughout the building. We're told 10 people living in that building went to the hospital. 14 firefighters also had to be hospitalized. Officials say the injuries are not life-threatening. We will continue to follow these developments as we get new information into our newsroom.
Right now, the search is on for a man who shot 5 police officers, killing 3 of them. The deadly shooting happened in Moncton, New Brunswick in Canada. Police responded to a call about an armed man last night when they confronted 24-year-old Justin Bork. They say he opened fire. 3 officers died. 2 others suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Now police are trying to find Bork. They're telling people who live in the town there to stay inside if they can. We have new footage this morning of the crash that ended a high-speed chase in Georgia. That wreck happened in Macon, Georgia, about an hour south of Atlanta. The crash happened last week, but the video is just now surfacing. Police say a suspect was running away from deputies. During the chase, the suspect slammed into a truck and then into a city bus. Footage from inside the bus shows the impact. The crash hurt the bus driver, 2 people in the truck, and a passenger in the suspect's car. Police arrested the driver on multiple charges. 1 person is dead and 5 others hurt after a shooting and a crash. Police say someone shot at 3 men in a truck on Pine Hills, Florida, west of Orlando. A bullet hit the truck driver in the head. That sent the truck into a home, hitting a mother and her 2 children inside. The truck driver died. The 2 passengers and the people in the house were also hurt. Police are still looking for the shooter.
And we're starting to see Hampton Roads wake up and get going because more cars are hitting the roads.
And more people are starting to get the slowdown, the backup. This is at the base, what you're looking at here, Naval Station Norfolk 564, right past the runway tunnel. Going into Gate 3A, it is a bit of a slow go, but it's not because of any accidents. It's just folks getting into work, so give yourself a little extra time.
Let's check the Midtown Tunnel now and look at our maps. The color's starting to change now, starting to turn yellow, a little orange there. That means more congestion, and that means you're getting a little slow going at the Midtown Tunnel, but traffic is moving also across the downtown tunnel, looks like, from Portsmouth into Norfolk. So that's a look at traffic right now at 521.
And we do have a traffic alert for you this morning. The bridge on Vinson Road in Ahoskie will shut down on Monday, and it will stay closed for the next 4 months. Here's why. The bridge is more than 60 years old, and the North Carolina DOT says it is structurally deficient. It is safe, but it's deteriorating and must be replaced. The new bridge is expected to reopen to traffic in early October.
A fire rips through an historic hotel, sending smoke into the air. Find out what was inside the building that made the firefight so tough.
But first, the gridlock in Richmond is set to hurt schools around the Commonwealth. We're going to tell you how much money's on the line for our students here. A state task force is asking tough questions after a train exploded in April. The wreck happened, you'll remember, in Lynchburg. This is video from the scene there. A CSX train carrying crude oil derailed, sparking a fire and sending oil right into the James River. The governor's task force on rail safety held its first meeting since the mishap yesterday. They wanted to know why oil producers and rail companies cannot regulate hazardous materials on trains as strictly as they're regulated on trucks traveling the state's highways. Federal authorities are still trying to determine a cause for that fiery derailment. And we are off to a wet start this morning. Craig tracking the rain. He's going to let us know just how long this stuff's going to stick around. We do know it is moving out.
Yeah, lightning overnight. And then our top story at 5:30, saying goodbye to an officer killed in the line of duty. Details on the funeral for Norfolk Police Officer Brian Jones happening today.
And later, a military jet crashes right into several homes. We have a look at the damage, and we'll let you know how everyone's doing this morning.